Welcome back to my YouTube channel on Mindset and Money. My goal is to make a world a better place by empowering you as a leader to be successful in your career and financial journey. Today, I want to share 3 things that I learned from Oprah Winfrey. She's one of my role model, and I've listened to so many of her talks, and a lot of her things that she said resonate with me, and I want to share that with you and help you find a role model that you find intriguing and learn from, and share it with me on the comments below. So with that, we'll go ahead and started. The first thing is be proud of your upbringing, and it's not where you start, it's where you end. I think for her, she has a very humble beginning, from a very poor background, essentially. And I can relate that just because I also came from a very disadvantaged background, and I feel like that should never hold us back or be ashamed of where we're coming from. Just because that's basically who you are at that point, and how you rise from the occasions really determines who you are as an individual in life. So don't ever let your upbringing affects how you see yourself and affects your confidence. For me, I was the youngest out of 9, and I came from Vietnam, and I grew up with a single mom, as my dad was already gone to the US, or actually he was fleeing from Vietnam to Hong Kong to a refugee camp due to political reasons. Either he stay or die, so he chose to leave, and I think and he wanted to do it by himself because he didn't want to risk our lives. So growing up in Vietnam with my mom only, she has to take care of all the kids, and economic means was very dire. I would say, there are days that we probably just drink water or eating rice plus water or potato yams. Like, that's basically it to fulfill and sometimes it'd be good days if we have 1 meal or 2 meals a day. So that's kind of like where I came from. So coming here to the US when I was 9, we lived in a 1-room apartment with 8 of us, and to be honest, I didn't think I was poor at that point either. I was just like, oh, I know we had some financial struggle, and my dad was doing his best to take care of us, and it was one of the happiest day of my life, or the happiest period of my life, because we're all together, we're bonding, we're really taking opportunities to I would say grow up together and share our experience. We all have to pitch in somehow, and my brothers have to go to work earlier or taking on extra work, and my dad had to work a couple of jobs. So it was not all nice and dandy childhood, but I think my parents, I know my parents have given us everything possible to give us the resource and the tools and the knowledge that they can empower us to be successful. One thing my dad was saying, that he didn't have the chance to go through school here in the US, or even back in the day. So one of his wishes is that all his kids go through, at least finish high school, and of course go into college. So for me, I think that was something that was very powerful, to have him sharing his experience and his journey. It was like near life and death experience for him to be on the water for 13 days without food, and they make it from island to island until they make it to Hong Kong. So he pretty much risked his life in return for the opportunities that I have here in the US. So I'm very grateful for him. So when growing up, to be honest, I was a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? I was embarrassed, not ashamed. I was embarrassed to share my story, my childhood story and growing up, because I felt like it's may possibly stain or influence how people perceive me. However, now that I'm where I'm at, I feel like it was really my upbringing that gave me the determination and the resilience that I have now, and also the gratitude that I have in terms of pay it forward and just what I have at this point. So again, with Oprah Winfrey, I really relate to her, and one of the anchor who interviewed her, was like, oh, you came from a modest background. She said, no, you can say I came from a poor background. very affirmatively. So I really, that segment really resonate with me, because I think sometimes our upbringing influence how we perceive things and how we perceive ourselves, and affects our self-esteem and self-confidence. So I just want to share that one thing is, it's not where you come from, is how you learn from that situations and blossom through your journey as you're growing into an adulthood, and also just as a leader. So growing up, like I said, we don't have a lot of financial means, and we receive assistance from various individuals who are very generous. And from that, I'm very grateful, because without them, I wouldn't get to where I am. And I applied for scholarships and getting into college. To be honest, in high school, I wasn't even thinking of going college or like big university, like the University of Texas at Austin. Like that was never within my reach. However, I had a very positive role model that helped to motivate me. So that's the second lessons with Oprah Winfrey in terms of learning from her, is that surround yourself with really positive role model and mentors, and follow basically your strengths, and being able to get this, basically have a very strong support system. And again, growing up, we didn't have a lot of financial means. However, I have a lot of love, lots and lots of love from my brother, sister, parents, and that's all we have here. And they're all very encouraging. And in addition, I have, as I went through middle school and high school, I think high school was a very formative years for me to truly see who I am and learn about myself. And I have basically a teacher who believed in me and give me so much love, so much support. Shout out to Miss Goldie. We still keep in touch actually. And she sees something that I didn't see in myself, and she has helped me, and really I would say transform me to have a different perspective. And of course with her, she invite basically a whole supporting system that helps me to finally got into the University of Texas Austin as a college student, and then stay on to finish out my bachelor in biology, and of course got my doctor in pharmacy. So just because of having that support system and that role model who helps and believe in me, that I realize is the most important thing that anyone, young leader, young individuals would really need to have, is having those mentors and individuals that believe in you and see things you may not see for yourself. I would say I had a lot of self-doubt when I was in high school, and I was an introvert. If you know me from high school, middle school to high school onward, I was an introvert. I wouldn't be able to do a YouTube channel like this. Like, it's beyond my reach. So she truly helped me grow, and having her and other teachers, as well as other high school friends who really support me and just continue to see things in me that I don't see myself. So second is just really having that support system. And of course that transgressed on to, like, in college, again, I went to Austin, did not know anyone except for maybe one classmate from high school that we ended up rooming together. And with that, I just start to say, either I stay in my little bubble and may not have the best college experience, or just go out there and network and, follow my strengths and follow my passion. So that's what I did. So with Oprah Winfrey, that's one thing she was saying, is like, follow your passion, follow your strengths. So for me, it's always about community service and pay it forward. And that's how I found pharmacy, and really truly I was thinking about pharmacy and medicine, and I ended up choosing pharmacy because I can see pharmacists make a huge difference in patients' lives by empowering them to be adherent to the medications and really make changes in a positive way. So I chose pharmacy and pursue that in healthcare, and use that as my platform to serve serve patients. As a leader now, I serve my team to make sure they do their best. In return, that will help also take care of the patients. So I think that's really biggest thing, is that be able to follow my passion and follow my strengths. I wouldn't say I'm great at math or chemistry or science or biology, but I truly enjoy science and math, and pharmacy was just a natural progression for me. And then in pharmacy school, I realized I have a passion for leadership and just really empower people and talk with them, engage folks, engage people in projects and stuff. So I end up pursuing a residency in pharmacy administration, and currently in my role as a pharmacy manager. And I truly enjoy that. Like, the best part about my job is the people. The crazy part about my job is also the people, right? However, I really enjoy that. So I think just being able to keep follow my passion, it leads me to the place that I've never thought I would be. If you asked me when I was a 9-year-old girl coming from the Vietnam to the U.S., I would have never thought I'm where I'm at. So the last lesson that I learned from Oprah Winfrey is be innovative. Don't stay with the status quo. So she left the Oprah Winfrey show and started her own network, and I think that's a very powerful move for her, and also a scary move, right? Like she shared how it's like she didn't know what she wanted to do, but she definitely didn't want to stay on there until people like, oh, you need to get off the show. So she was bold and innovative and wanted to create movements that others would be so scared to make the jump, and she did. And I think for me, I learned and also correlate the same thing, is that in my current role as a leader, taking a lot of options and initiatives from an innovative standpoint, like how can we leverage to support more pharmacy technicians to do innovative things? How can we, and also our pharmacists, to really practice at the max of our license and being able to take care of patient and not tie the profession to a commodity, aka to the drug. Really provide value-based care, patient-centric care. Where can we leverage pharmacists to do innovative things? And how can pharmacists be involved in public health and population health? With my involvement in the population health fellowship I'm doing, I really want to see how can pharmacists be leveraged, as well as be someone who is a value driven profession overall, and not just tied to a dispensing fee on the community or a soft dollar saving of average drug events. Like, what can pharmacists do to be involved and really provide that value-based care and patient-centric care? So being innovative is something I'm pursuing in my role, but also beyond my role. And that's why you see me blogging about career and financial journey, but also see me doing medical writing. I'm just really thinking, like, what are some things that we can do as an individual to help make this world a better place? And in your profession, how can you make something new out of maybe old traditions? Or how can we break away from old traditions to really leverage our ways of thinking and really taking care of patient and not be complacent with status quo? So with Oprah Winfrey, I really love her and how she is so resilient. So I'm going to capture the three lessons that I've learned from her. Is one, be proud of your upbringing, and know that where you start is not where you end. It's really how you transform your experiences and your journey to make who you are during that journey. Two, being able to follow your strengths / your passions, because that's the essential key ingredient to really doing what you love and love to do. So focus on your efforts, kind of like Mark Cuban was saying. Focus on your efforts, and once you get really good at something, it turns into your passion and you become the expert, and people go and seek your expertise. And 3 is just being very innovative. Don't settle for status quo. Really challenge the current situation you're in. Challenge the norm, because sometimes that's what you need to do to break through the next level of whatever that innovation is in your field. So with that, I hope you find this very helpful, and tell me one thing that you learned from your role model. First, who's your role model and why? And what's the one thing you learned from them? I would love to hear that, because I think we all have great role models, and you know, your role models don't have to be someone who's real, that you know in person. It could be someone, like I've never met Oprah Winfrey. I would love to meet her, but you can, with the technology nowadays, you can get access to basically their brain and their experiences through so many various means. So I would love to hear from you and see what you learned from this show so far, as well as I would love to learn from you. With that, connect with me on LinkedIn and subscribe to this channel for more videos coming up, as well as share it with people that you feel this will help to inspire them. Thank you so much. Take care.